All right, so there is a lot to unpack in the month of March. Yes, we know Air Max Day is very, very quickly approaching. We had this bad boy go ahead and release, which did really well, as I thought it would. Other people thought that it would not, but it does pose a question. How do you guys feel about the iconic color blocking of different Jordan 1s being used for other colors that are not red and don't reflect the Bred colorway? Because we're about to get that like 2 times within the next few months, and I'm just kind of curious, what are your thoughts? Another video talks with TJ, aka TJ2 Swoosh Chains. I hope everybody is having an amazing day. That's right, it is March. Lots going on. It is pretty much, National Women's History Month. So you guys already know I am rocking the women's equality t-shirt from the Nike line that they put out. So hey, I am very excited about rocking this shirt. It's the very reason that I got it. Well, not just for this month, to wear all the time, but you get my point. All right, so let's just jump. This is gonna be a Jordan 1 discussion. So if you are a lover of Jordan 1s, please just come on, let's comment in the comment section of this video here. I'm a very big fan of Jordan 1s. I own more Jordan 1s than I do any other silhouette in my collection. And that's probably gonna be period. Like, yes, there are Air Maxes that I own, but if you're talking about like a specific style of Air Max in relation to like the Jordan 1, it's not even close. I'm just gonna point that out. So this is my latest Jordan 1 pickup, right? So it is the 2020 Pine Green 2.0, I guess you could say, and it has that Bred colorway blocking. However, let's just discuss the very iconic color blocking options you have for the Jordan 1. And I actually am going to take the time to show on foot looks for the ones that I have now. I'm not going to highlight the Chicago colorway. I do have a variation of that, and it's based on the Sheila Rashid collaboration she did with them. If you don't know who she is, I mean, you definitely should after All-Star Weekend, but I do have her Jordan 1 slip collaboration she did, and that shoe actually does turn heads when I wear it. People are like, that must be so comfortable, you must love wearing that. I do love wearing it. So let's just go ahead and break down what are the 3 options that you have for color blocking when it comes to the Jordan 1, or the ones that we are very familiar with. So the very first one, now this is not a leather option, but it is the Jordan 1 Bred, what I like to call the Bred color blocking, right? So it features a mostly black upper on the medial and the lateral panels, as well as that very top part of the heel collar. You have the bright, bold red on the toe box here. The swoosh is also red, and then the back heel is red, and it will have Nike Air on the tongue. Now, for this particular, this is the Flyknit Bred pair. So yes, it has the leather patch on there. They really stepped up their game with the quality here. It has the leather patch there, and then it actually does read 1985 on the inside. So I still own this pair of Breds, so I guess it's a nice little variation of it. And yes, these are beat. Like, I need to, you can't tell on the camera, thank goodness. These are beat and I need to clean them. But that is probably the most well-known color block option of the Air Jordan 1, because if you don't own anything else, if you don't want anything else in relation to the Jordan 1, a lot of times you do want the Bred or even the banned one, right? Which we all know the story, like that really wasn't the shoe that was banned, but you get the point. So the next one would have to definitely be the Jordan 1 Black Toe. Now this is the women's black toe satin that I was able to acquire last year, so very happy about that. But we know that on the outside here, so the actual toe leather panel is what it makes it the Black Toe. So it is black right here, and then on the inside it does feature white. The panels for the sides are white on both the medial and lateral side, and then the swoosh is black. But on that back heel counter or the heel here, and then right as you approach the collar, it does have red. Now this material is actually considered what is the satin part of the shoe, but on the just traditional Black Toe, it is leather. And then you will have the red outsole there. And I didn't even mention, but the outsole is red as well on this one. So I'm a big fan of the fact that they are red outsoles versus just white, because those get so ridiculously dirty. And then you have the regular nylon tongue, so the traditional nylon tongue with the Nike Air on the top portion of of that. Finally, what has actually taken over, I think, is my favorite color block option now, is the Air Jordan 1 Bred Toe. Now, this really set the game on fire. Resell. The funny part is I actually didn't even intend to go for my size. I was going for a different size, and what do you know? I ended up hitting on this, and it is actually my favorite Jordan 1 that I own now in my collection. I know a lot of people seem to think that it is the Crimson Tint one, but no, it actually is the Bred Toe one. So here you have a mixture. So once again, it is very similar. It's pretty much a child of this, right? It's a child of these two. So the toe box, the back heel, and as you move up to the collar, that will feature red as well as the outsole, but the actual toe itself is black, very much so like, you know, hey, this black toe here. And then you still have the nylon tongue, but it just has Nike Air on there, so it's not leather. It's nothing that is insanely special. And this release of the pine green is what mimics very much so to the Bred colorway, right? The Bred color blocking, and the OG, I guess we could call it the OG pine green one that came out. It was a little bit different, right? Because it did not, it actually had like white panels on the inside. So it looked just like this. It was pretty much like a pine, you should have called it like a, should we have called it a pine toe? I know that doesn't sound right, but whatever. That's probably what it could have been thought of as. Now we hear, well, at least we know, unless Jordan Brand changes it, and they could, but in October, women, we're getting our very own Air Jordan 1 women's Lucky Green. So it actually will not be called Pine Green. It will be called Lucky Green. It is set to release October of 2020. It will have a price point of $170, so that brand new price point for Jordan 1s. I actually, no. First off, let me pose a question. What do you think about this? Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing that you can have all these color block options for colors, for a particular color that is not red? I think this is a good idea, okay? First off, it's already been done and tried, because you know that that's pretty much what happened with the Royal White, right? You have the Air Jordan 1 Royal, you have the Air Jordan 1 Game Royal, which is more so like the Chicago blocking, and then we very soon in May, and I am so excited, we'll have the Game Royal Toe that will release in the Jordan 1 style. They've already tried this with blue and it works pretty well. So I think it works well as two with the green. Now, why do I say that? What if you are a really big fan of the Jordan 1? What if you're a big fan of the color blocking style, but you're just not a fan of red? What if your favorite team, what if you are a really big Philadelphia Eagles fan or New York Jets or a Boston Celtics fan and you want to rock Jordan 1s, but you have a lot of team apparel, which means you also want to coordinate very well, or maybe you just don't like red. Like, that's perfectly fine. You cannot like red and still love Jordan. They're not that independent of each other. We're exclusive where you can't do that, right? So what if you wanted to do that? Well, you now have the option, right? Because you can get this one, you can go back and get the 1.0, you can get the women's pair that's coming out. Now, I don't know if it will release an extended sizing. Just full disclosure, I'm not the person that has like all the early info and insider information. You know that there are YouTubers you can go to on here and they are on it, Johnny on the spot, they're plugged in, they know exactly what's going on. Yeah, so if I really need to know something, it is either Z Sneakerheads, I think I'm going to follow or look for information on his page on Instagram, or honestly, I'll probably just hit up Unbreakable Kicks. Like, listen, what do you know? Can you help me out here, right? And he's always very helpful to share that information, and he's got it earlier than anyone else that I know. So when it comes to the color blocking for the Air Jordan 1, we have some amazing options, and they stand the test of time always, so much so to the fact that we start to add different colors. Now, you're not crazy if you're looking at that October women's release and thinking, didn't they already do the Celtics one? Yes, they did, but this one is a little bit different because instead of the regular tag that'll be like this, it's going to be more so like the tags that we have come to know, right? So it's going to be the leather embossed tag here. It will have black laces, and I think the Celtics Jordan one that came out actually had green laces on there. So in relation to that, I don't know why, but the black laces actually do look better on the women's release they're coming out with. But that's exactly just, you know, I wanted to pose that question to you guys. Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? Do you think that Jordan Brand will start to do this with all the different color options? Like the court purple has pretty much already been done. Do you think they will come out with more court purple variations? Maybe one, you know, will they do that with all of the major colors? Let's just start there. You guys can sound off in the comment section. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. As a Jordan 1 lover, it becomes hard. You really do have to fight buying Jordan 1s that you don't I'm gonna say need, right? But we feel like we always need the shoe. But you have to fight Jordan ones that you don't need, right? Because look at this, they're all red on the back, right? Two are identical and they're not even the same shoe. If you do this, they're all red, right? This is probably why people think we have problems and we don't really care. But all right, so there's a breakdown. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Act your age, not your shoe size. As always, peace out. And don't tell me that Jordan 1s are not the king of Jordan silhouettes, because I think they are.